And we're live. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Kevin from the Thrifting Lounge, and I am honored to be with Jody, Cliff, and Chris, all of the Canadian Resellers Roundtable. And everybody introduce yourself. I'll start with Jody. Let
Hey,
everybody know who you are.
So yeah, I am Jody Matoma. I live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I resell basically just on Poshmark, US and Canada at the moment. And I also run websites, and that's what I do.
And Cliff?
My name's Cliff. On Planet YouTube, I go by Boondock Mercantile. I sell on eBay and Amazon, and I have a health series every 2 weeks on my channel as well. And I'll be releasing a 3D printing video. Should be pretty cool. And then sometime this week, anyway.
Nice.
And of course, last one up, Chris.
All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Chris, and I have the channel Thrift Piece CQ. I currently reside from Toronto, Canada, and I am a seller of stuff on eBay Canada, ebay.com, and also I do a bit of Amazon as well. Right now, I'm just doing everything part-time, and other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right, and again, I'm Kevin from the Thrifting Lounge. As I guess you guys know, you guys came here because you guys pretty much know who I am. I enjoy thrifting, estate sales, and garage sales. And so I got the boys here, and I'm gonna ask them some questions because not only do I like to have people on, but I want to learn from them also. And I tend to think that even with the newer resellers, that they may be doing something different that I'm not doing that I can implement myself. And also vice versa. So maybe I can help you guys out with whatever way I sell things. Now, the one thing I had first, okay, the first one was, so do you guys all sell on eBay?
I don't anymore. I did last year.
Okay. Why'd you leave eBay?
Oh, I messed up. I didn't pay my bill, so I owe them $600 right now. So that's why.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think the only way I could get back my 800 feedback was by paying, I think it was $150, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to start out brand new because I heard all the seller stuff, the restrictions they put on you was a lot different than when I was first restricted. I guess they give you like a maximum amount you can list per month and make, which I think is kind of crazy. So another good question is, what would you guys tell new resellers that are coming into, I would say, doing reselling, whether it's eBay or your other platforms? Anybody can start.
I'd say hang in there. Don't lose your ambition. Like don't lose your motivation. It's going to be slow when you start. You just have to hang in there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Things aren't going to sell right away. It takes time. If you're doing clothing,
Yeah, I think that's
11%. That's 11% sell-through rate. Very slow.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what would also help too is knowing your keywords, becoming like a keyword master of what you can sell. Like for mine, if you look at my sport coats and blazers, I have like almost the same title besides the brand and maybe a few different keywords, but mostly it's going to say like, say if it's a Brioni sport jacket, blazer suit, or blazer suit, sport jacket coat. And sometimes I put it in a tuxedo if it kind of fits that category. I usually get a pretty good amount of traction. I think once you literally know, and you don't always have to know a niche, but if you do niche down at first, that helps you know the specific category, how it sells, and then you can pick your own price point too.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say too, like
what made you guys?
Sorry, no, like
no.
I wanted to say like when I started off, I really didn't have much of a budget or anything like that. So I started off with just selling things that I had in my house just to build it up. And then from there, I just decided to figure out what was working for me and what I wanted to start selling more of.
What about you guys? Same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first
It was
started,
like
I was
my
pretty well buying. I was pretty well buying everything that I could make a half a dollar on, and then as I learned what was selling, I'd concentrate more on those categories.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think me and Chris, me and you were touching on this the other night when we were specifically talking about, the more you know, the more you become more picky, and you kind of want to bring your average per sale up.
Yeah.
So like, I always, and I think I told this Chris, was how I break it down is how I'm going to make, how much am I going to make per hour? How long it's going to be for me to pick, picture, list, and then send out. And if I'm only making, and at the time when I first started, I was fine with making $10, man. $10 was huge. If I was on Craigslist, bought something for $5 and made 15, or sold it for 15, that was awesome for me. But the more you learn, you're able to figure out what's going to gain you traction, how you're going to do it, and then where your price point is. And then you're also going to be faster at listing, taking the pictures and then listing the items, and then of course everything else like that. Now, what do you guys specifically? What are your guys' strong points in reselling? Again, any of you guys can jump in.
I only sell clothing right now, so I guess that's my strongest point.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of learning to do, though. So I don't know.
I've been generally selling more video
Now,
games.
what do you mean by what? Sorry, what did you say, Chris?
I started selling a bit more video games compared to my other things, but also I've been getting more into like sports cards as well. That's something I've been trying to. It's a bit of both of a hobby as well as trying to resell some of that to recoup some of the bad cards I have that I didn't want to collect.
Yeah. That goes in effect when you first started collecting them. You were just buying them all up to resell them. Specific ones may be long tail items.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't. I always thought of collecting specific players and then just wanting to get rid of the ones I just didn't have any care for.
Yeah. Now, how about you, Cliff? What's your strong point in reselling?
I've found a lot of love in vehicle parts. Most specifically, headlight, taillight housings, reflectors, corner pieces, external mirrors, the kind of stuff that gets broken in parking lots. I can't keep that stuff on the shelf, it seems.
So it's pretty quick, right?
Say that again?
It goes pretty quick for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, how did you find out about those items? Because that's something I've never heard of. Well, I'm sure I've heard of it, but it's something I've never really gotten into.
I bought a set of headlights on a hunch at one time, and I comped it later. Like I do, like probably 80% of my sourcing is blind. I don't comp it before I buy it. I'll run comps after the fact, and I was shocked at what they went for. So I listed it, and they sold within the week, and I forget which reseller I was watching at the time who suggested vehicle parts. If I could remember the name, I would give them a shout out, but I did hear about that on YouTube from another reseller.
Now, are you guys all full-time or are you guys part-time? Because myself, I'm part-time.
I'm full-time, yeah.
Part-time selling, and then I guess about 70% of my income is the websites that I run.
I have a full-time job, so I'm doing this part-time, the reselling.
Now, what about goals? You guys, Cliff already does it full time, but I'd like to hear from him after you guys of how he plans, if he's good plans on trying to scale up more and make more money off of it, or but Jody and Chris, like, what are your goals on this? Do you guys want to make this full time?
Not myself. It'll always be a part-time with my websites because I'm never going to end those. But I would like to bring it up to like 50-50. So I was trying to like double my profits in reselling this year versus last year, but so far that's not even close to happening. I'm doing much worse this year. So, but I have to extend to different platforms because I'm just sticking to Poshmark right now. So that's definitely an issue.
And I'm trying to.
What about you, Chris?
Like, I'm trying to figure out if it's something I do want to do down the road. Like, I think it was a pretty cool idea to be full time, and don't get me wrong, I think it may be in the pipeline too. But right now, it's just really been a great supplementary income for me as well, to allow me to do things like go on trips or like even just go out to eat and stuff with my family. It's been very helpful, and then having just my regular income to pay the regular stuff like my bills.
Yeah, I agree. For me, the last 2 months have been great because I've been able to make enough money just to pay my rent in it. And my bonus checks from work and my regular work money has been able to just go pile up in the bank. And I actually heard a great thing about if you plan on going full time, try to get 6 months worth of eBay money put aside first, just in case those down months. I mean, especially we're coming into summertime right now, and depending on what you sell, like I sell a lot of clothing. I'm kind of gearing my way towards other things too, like electronics and vacuum parts. So the last time I've done full time, because May will be a full year for me. So like now I know almost where the bad months were, but at the time I was scaling up at the time. So like by the end of the summer, I had maybe 250. Now I'm at 550. So it's going to be hard for me to realize that, hey, listen, I may be making a little more now than last year, but the down months are already happening for me. Like I'm trying to keep it where there is no down months for me. Trying to stay consistent, list 6 items a day at least, and I've seen great success with that stuff. Now, do you guys run any sales on your items? And like, what's your strategy for reselling on it? Do you run sales? Do you
We lost you, man. Kevin. You guys want to answer that though? Because I'm not
Yeah.
on eBay.
Yeah, no. On my downtime, I'm generally running sales and as well as promoted listings. Every time I do that, I notice there's a big jump in sales every time I do that. So as long as I'm seeing a steady amount of sales, I won't really do it as much just because I want to maintain the maximum amount of profit that I make on my items.
Cool.
Yeah.
There he goes. He gone. Yeah, I run sales myself. Lately, it's just been to get stuff out the door to get money in my pocket. I haven't been sourcing for quite some time now, so it's pretty well just been an issue of not so much ROI percentage as it is just money in my pocket.
Sorry guys, my Walmart connection went out. I'm a little far from the router. I think, like my girlfriend's like, I think for now on you need to do it in the back room because like I keep having issues like this, or maybe bringing out the router out to my living room. So I'm sorry, I totally missed that. But anyways,
Okay.
What is 2 things for new resellers? What would you say to them? I'll ask Chris first.
To new resellers?
Yeah, that can keep them motivated.
I would say is watch a bunch of YouTube and learn a lot of what people are selling and pick up items that you think you find interesting, and then just try to if you think you find a certain niche item interesting, then try to see if there's specific videos on YouTube you think that will allow you to learn more on that item. And then also just try to see if you do want to watch like people's processes and how they do stuff. Like if you're new, like you can generally see how the people are packing things, how they label stuff, and just see if it fits into what you think you can learn and what you can do when you're doing your business, and then hopefully you'll start to develop your own processes.
How about you, Cliff?
Yeah, that was one of my answers as well. YouTube University, definitely. Nah, Chris stole both my answers. Actually.
Sorry.
Good job,
Sorry,
Chris.
Cliff. Sorry, man.
Great.
Steal my fire.
Sorry.
How about you, Jody?
The same answer as them.
Oh man.
Something to stay motivated.
A, B, and C.
Yeah, I would say goal setting too. For me, would be big goal setting. Like if you want to do, I go hard at anything. So like if I see something I want it, I'm gonna try to set. And up until like 3 years ago, I was never setting goals. So when I was doing reselling before, I never set goals.
Right.
I probably could have made 30-40% more if I was setting those goals and trying to attain them. But since I've been able to set my goals, whether it was life, work, or even on eBay, I've been able to really blow past them. Like for me, by my first year, I want to get 500 listings. I'm at 535 already.
Nice.
But the big thing was staying consistent. That is so hard for some people because we live in a world now where we get distracted super easy. You know, we can hop on someone's YouTube channel, get wrapped up in it. Before you know it, you're supposed to be doing a listing like me last week, and it's taking me an hour to list a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
And that would take me 15, 20 minutes. So that stuff is like, you know, it's great having the YouTube on though in the background. You know, that's what I love. That keeps me motivated. Listening to other YouTubers, watching their lives and their.
Dang.
Are you there again?
Yeah, you're back.
Yep.
I think, but I think the big part of motivation too is just by goal setting. Set your goals, figure out where you want to be within like a month. Actually, I usually do weekly, monthly, and then a yearly goal. And I try to attain them. And so far, it's been great. I never thought I'd be able to get where I was so quickly. And again, unfortunately, for me, I was lucky enough to have a girlfriend that does half the stuff with me. So I don't know about you, Chris. Does your girl help you?
No, when I'm doing this stuff, my wife is taking care of the little one, so I'm thankful for that. so I'm able to do this stuff. Like I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for her. So I'm thankful for that.
How about you, Cliff and Jody?
Well, I just have a cat, and he's about as busy as he ever is right now.
Yeah.
So he's not doing too much.
There he is. There he is,
Yeah, he's right there. I see him.
He's incredibly busy for this 3 seconds. It'd be nice to have help. Because it's just me working out of the house. So I'm doing about as much as I can myself right now.
What about you, Jody?
Myself, yeah, I'm single as well, so I do everything myself.
Yeah. Like I said, when I was with my kid's mom, it was half the stuff that I was doing now. I think it helps if you do have a significant other, or if you do have somebody that can help you do that. But I'm a micromanager, so it's very hard for me to lay off the reins with anybody without me looking over their head with what they're doing.
Yeah.
But with her, I don't have to look at what she does anymore. Like when it comes to taking pictures or listing, I just let her run with it, and she's good to go.
Nice.
That's very helpful. Yeah.
It really is, and she can even price the stuff now. So like when I first met her, she didn't know nothing. She didn't know nothing about fashion clothes. She didn't know nothing about really anything. But she took the time and effort with me and enjoyed it with me. And so that's kind of like our bond, that and NASCAR races and going on vacations. But I would like to get in some questions if anybody has questions. I know I probably missed them because the chat's been going crazy. And Josh
Oh,
likes
by the way,
flying.
happy birthday.
True. Thank you guys. I am 25 years old today. No, I'm just kidding. I'm 35.
You're younger than I thought.
No, I know I'm
Okay.
35 years old,
That's what I
unfortunately.
thought. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
every
happy
day.
birthday again.
Thank you. I feel like my body feels it hardcore. I do I do jujitsu, so like I guess as the older I get, the worse my body starts hurting. So, but unfortunately, Maggie Dula says her husband does all the shipping. That's exactly what my girlfriend's doing over there right now, and that's kind of slowing up my connection. Is her print labels out this weekend? What are your best sales this week so far? One each, and if you guys want to screen share it,
Oh gosh.
do it up if you want.
I've had 2 sales since the 17th. A Fendi glasses case and a Gucci bag. Just a
Oh,
small bag.
how much
Tiny
you sell the Gucci for?
one. $15. Like a really small one. I could,
Yeah, pop it up. Let's see
I
it.
guess so, yeah.
I'll try to get mine up there if my.
It's not like a, it's like a t-shirt bag is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah.
And Chris, you sell clothes too, right?
Yeah, I sell a little clothes, not too much as I did before.
Yeah.
But I still do every now and then. Like if I find a piece I know that's going to be worth like a significant amount of money, I'll generally pick it up.
Yeah. Is there a specific reason why you don't pick up the clothes? Is it just because they're longer sitting items?
That and like I don't know, like just because I think it's just more of like I don't have enough knowledge for me to find it really super interesting for me to do it. I think it's like I only know certain brands that I'm already aware of, so I'm generally just looking for those right now. But I've been focusing more on hard goods mainly because like the thrift stores that I go to specifically, the margins that I want to make are not there when it comes to clothing. Like literally, if I'm going at a specific day to do sourcing, I find that like the deals aren't really there yet unless I go at like I think next week there's a 50% off sale at Value Village, which is our Savers over here. So the thing is that it's gonna be crazy. I know it because every time I've gone for clothing on a 50% off sale, it's ridiculous. Like you can't get into the building, and people are going nuts. But I mean, again, I find that the hard goods are a lot more cheaper than the clothing are. Sorry, at these
Yeah.
thrift stores, at least in my location. It could be different in
No.
other locations.
You made a good point a few nights ago saying that when you buy stuff up in Canada, it's totally different than what we do down here, which I would love for you to explain because I couldn't believe it with fine items. I think you said especially clothes, how it's more expensive than down here.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's crazy, and I mean, there will be some that will slip through the cracks that you'll find decently priced, and then, I mean, generally I'll definitely go for them. But there are bins as well too. Like I know Jody does bins, and you can definitely get it for a lot cheaper price so that you can make up those margins, which are a lot better. It's just right now for where I am and what I generally source around me and the time that I have to do it, it's just not feasible. So I'm just working with what I have, and I'll see the best profit that I can make out of the items that I can find.
Great.
Yeah,
Texas
like
Treasure.
jeans.
Yep.
Like jeans, for example, thrift store jeans up in Canada are typically $7 to $11 for your kind of run of the mill, and then you have to think about shipping. Like if I was to ship a pair of jeans to Chris, it would be probably anywhere from $17 to $20 for that pair of jeans.
Oh my God.
So you really have to get quite a bit pickier when you source, especially in clothing.
Man, that's crazy. I wonder do you think it's maybe like more taxes on the hard goods or something? Or sorry, the clothing or something up there?
I'm not sure what drives the price up for the clothing and thrift stores. But like what hurts us is the shipping rates.
Yeah.
Like there's one day I threw a DVD in an appropriately sized bubble mailer, and then I put my own address in it, and it was $12. And the kicker of it is I don't have a post office in my town. I am one of 30 people in my town, so I have to drive 20 minutes to the next town to drop that DVD off.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, like one of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started is I watched like the only YouTube resellers I found were US based when I first started. So I was following a lot of their sourcing tips. So I've got boxes of DVDs that I can't really sell. Um, so like I was pretty well sourcing all the things that they were sourcing that they were able to ship for, you know, $2, $3, $4. Yeah. Since then I have smartened up quite a bit, and I'm leaning more towards those items that are perhaps harder to find, maybe a little bit more in demand, like your headlight housings for 2016 Dodge Ram.
Yeah,
Looking for something where people are willing to pay more for shipping.
yeah, and especially the car parts, man. Like anybody's gonna buy those anywhere, especially if it's the right part and everything, for whatever vehicle they're working on, or if I know some people actually buy them off eBay, the parts, just to resell them again in their stores, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I know it's like an untapped market. People are actually starting to get into that.
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
Jody, you got your stuff up. All right, I'm gonna put on there we go.
Oh snap!
Oh, the couple of things. Yeah,
Nice.
dusty bag. That's what you call it. Yeah. And then
How
the other
much
one was not. What's that?
How much did you get that for?
Oh, I picked that up at the Goodwill bins, so like 5 cents.
Man, and they just let
And
that go
then
there.
the other one was Prada, not Fendi. Sorry. So glasses case.
Yeah, the cases sell too. Like even if they don't have the glasses in them.
18 bucks for that. I paid $1.
Like I have a pair of Gucci's right now, just without the case, but I have them up there for 100. They're women's. They're really nice too, and they're like not used. I found them at this Goodwill during Hurricane Dorian. We went up to Gainesville, and we got we went to a Goodwill, and it was packed. And these were just hanging out right on top of the case, on top of the glass, right before you walk out, not even in the glass. And I looked, I'm like, because I always check glasses. Sunglasses, like the insides and outsides. Especially I like the vintage, selling vintage glasses. So when I saw those, I'm like, that doesn't look like a generic right from off the bat, because it had the gradient on the lenses, and I was like, this isn't normal. So when I looked up about the back of it, there were Gucci's, and I'm like, hey, it was $5. I don't know how that they did not see that, especially Goodwills. They'll find them and they'll just put those things for expensive money.
Yeah.
But they've been sitting like 3 or 4, actually, no, Dorian was back in, I think, September. So they've been sitting. But I think I had an offer last week of like half the price that I wanted, and I totally declined it. But it goes to show that, like you said, you can actually find things if you actually search, because sometimes they do make mistakes and don't give the perfect price point on it.
True. I found myself. What's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I found myself a couple pairs of Gucci glasses myself. A brand new Goodwill opened up here in Alberta, the biggest one in Canada, and there was 2 pairs of Gucci's for $20 a pair, Canadian, so like $15 US. I sold them for $85 and $90, I think, US.
Did they have a case with it, or it was just loose, just the glasses?
One had a case, and then the other one was loose. But I had a case that I got somewhere else, so I just put them in there.
Man, that's sick. That's sick. And were they like the newer ones, or the little vintage?
No, I think they were newer. Yeah.
It's crazy. And then we got a question. Texas Treasure Brian. He's got a great channel. What are your favorite places to source? Let's go with you, Chris, first.
I thrift at mainly the value villages here, and then also I take a look at some of the apps that we have, like Facebook Marketplace, Virage Sale, and Let Go. which are our local apps. And other than that, there are some like online estate auctions I use. It's called Max Sold. That's a Canadian one that I generally use to find stuff around me for a decent price. But those are generally it.
And I've never
What
been
about-
to an estate sale.
Really? Oh, that's the thing. Do you guys even get those up there?
I think so.
Yeah, there are some.
Yeah. I never searched for any.
How are they priced? Good, or are they more expensive?
No idea myself.
The estate sales that I've been to this last summer, there was a couple who had print off an ad off Amazon and tape it to the item, and then they would go 80% off that.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, I've only seen items like the things that I always want to get. They generally go for like the I'm going to keep it price, not the I'm going to resell it price. So it's never. It's really hard to find one. It's like you'll be lucky if you find one that'd be like someone that you know that's just trying to get rid of it, as opposed to someone that's trying to resell it too.
Now, do you know if it's do they have it like the regular estate, like if it's run by the family, not the companies up there? Because we have a lot of them down here. It's a business for them, and they like to keep everything priced high. So when the people,
Darn it.
so the families all.
You're cutting out.
The one I use is the company.
Am I better? Good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good
You're
now.
back.
Yeah. Really kind of, I don't know. I'll go to them because I love it and I can find a lot of treasures, even if they're higher priced.
Mhm.
But we have one specific one here that they don't even go half off on last day. They're just straight up what the price is, what the price is, and they're very high because they know that at those people, or when they're done with the estate sales, they'll be like, hey, you can take the stuff, or you can, send it to Goodwill or one of the local mom and pop thrift stores, which I think is crazy because these people actually down the road have a retail store. So that's where all their good, prestigious items go, right in that store.
Yeah.
And all the other stuff gets junked over at the other local thrift stores, And this lady has like 3 of them a weekend. 3 estate sales she has at least a weekend. So
Wow.
she's
Jesus.
making a lot of money doing that stuff.
Right. That's wild.
Another question from Texas Church is, what items are sought after more in Canada versus U.S.? That's a pretty good question.
I find jerseys do well, like hockey jerseys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because you're in Canada.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like I sell a bunch. I have like a couple here right now, and I just picked up one last week, and it already sold. Too.
Nice.
And do you find that, like, how much, because this, I'd like to know this too, what's the percentage you think of buyers that is from your country compared to, like, if you wanted to sell it right over the board to us?
Do you sell to the U.S.? Chris?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like probably 90% of my sales are in the U.S.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I wonder if it's just because there's more eyes on there in the United States than in Canada.
Yeah.
It's not just that, because like I'm pricing my shipping too correctly. So like as long as I price it to an amount that I think that makes sense for someone in the U.S. to pay, then I'll price it that way because I know that's how much it's going to cost me to pay for shipping.
So I'm guessing, Cliff, you don't do anything in the U.S., you just ship it all in Canada?
Yeah, probably 75% of my sales go to the U.S.
And how about you, Jody? You do Poshmark, so is that different up there with Canada compared to the United States?
I started on the Poshmark US app, and I just recently started on Poshmark Canada, today actually, pretty much. I had one sale on Poshmark Canada, but then I was banned for 9 days for some weird reason. But so 99% of my sales are in the US.
Okay, that's
But
crazy.
I'll get a few more Canadians coming up here soon.
So
Nice.
for 9 days, they just held it?
Yeah. That's what I was. I put up a Fendi glasses case, which is what I said earlier, but that's not what sold. I put it up on Poshmark Canada, and then they just disabled my whole account because they thought it was fake, counterfeit,
Oh, that yeah.
and it took them 9
I've
days to
seen,
get back.
but it was real, obviously, right?
It's real, yeah. Yeah, nobody fakes a Fendi a glasses case, you know. They're gonna fake the glasses themselves.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, because the
Exactly.
Fendi, like you saw, the Fendi glasses went for what, $18 compared to the glasses, which could be over $100.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Oh yeah.
which I find it's hard to really, there's so much fakes out there that comes over from China
There's
that it's
lots,
hard to distinct the real
Yeah.
from the correct ones. So on clothing, I can tell.
and it's
I
getting
think
worse
I had
and
a
worse.
pair a few years ago. I had a pair of Lacoste jeans, and it wasn't even alligator. It looked like a shark on the back of the pants, like the butt pocket. It was hilarious. I actually bought them just to show off that how fake they were.
There you go.
Um,
That's funny.
but you see them over and over again, fakes on like in the boutique cases at Goodwills, and it's just like, man, that's not even real. How do you authenticate that? You know. But I know if you did, do you guys ever watch the what was his name on Netflix? Slobby Robbie.
No,
You guys
No.
never seen that show? Robbie's
No.
World?
never heard of
Robbie's
it.
World, whatever it is. He
No.
sells a lot of his business is bootleg stuff like that, like the Gucci's, Pradas, MCM, all that stuff.
Really?
He puts it right up in his store, and man, he sells them for like vintage Gucci fake shirts for like $200-300 a piece. The fake the old bags that were really made good back in the day. I would say like the early late '90s, back when that people actually hand did this stuff in China, and you would pick them up at the flea markets and stuff down here in the United States. Those ones go for expensive that he sells. But I think also what he does too is he markets on Instagram, and so he's so famous when it comes to that type of world that he can just put any price on there, and people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is. It's Robbie's or Slobby's World on Netflix. You guys get Netflix over there, right?
Yeah.
It might. I wonder if it's U.S. based only because we have different Netflix here.
Mm.
Different.
I'm sure you could always Google and stream it somewhere.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, because it's pretty good. That got me actually a little bit motivated back into reselling again.
Oh, yeah.
Because the stuff that I would see and I saw him sell them was like, man, used to see it all the time, like the street style clothes with the T-shirts, NBA jerseys. And I'm like, man, so it got me a little bit back into that stuff. So motivation, some of that stuff is motivational, like watching American Pickers. That's another good motivational tool by learning too. Let's see. Simply Dana said, question: what one reselling, I think, tool has been a game changer for you? App or tool?
I would say List Perfectly has to be one, although I'm not using it right now, but that's definitely a good one.
I'd say the eBay app. I mean, as flawed as it can be, I can understand what the market is going for right now for that item if it wasn't for that app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the app is probably obviously the best thing. Have you guys tried TerraPeak?
I've looked in it, but I haven't really actually tried to actually do anything in it yet.
TerraPeak for me has been borderline useless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it because it's all over the place?
yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
For me, TerraPeak, what I'll do is I'll do it. So when I'm researching item, say it's a, I don't know, like some sort of electronic, all right? I'll go in there and I'll cut everything down. I won't even touch the auction because to me, just throw everything on the auction out because that's not going to be relevant to me because I do buy it now and everything. So
Right.
I'll buy it now and then best offer. So I click those two. And then that way I kind of click on I figure out what the real price is. And I'll change it from the last year what sold, depending on how rare the item is or how common it is, to the last 3 months, because that's really going to give me a distinction of how I should be pricing this item. And then what I usually do is price it like 10-15% higher. And then I take the best offers, and then I do promoted listings too. That's a good thing to get into. Do you guys do offers? Best offers?
Yes, as much as I can.
And then promoted listings. I know, Jody, you don't do promoted listings, obviously, but how about you, Cliff and Chris?
Yep.
Yeah, I generally do for things that I know there's a high volume of that, like of an item that's being sold a lot. Sorry, but if it's something that's unique that I don't see really any items of, I don't really put any promoted listings.
Okay. Like I was playing with that a couple weeks ago, like seeing what item I could take off promoted listings. And I feel like even if you take promoted listings off, because so many people are doing the promoted listings to get up higher in the searching, that even when you take this promoted listings off, because they have to put some sort of organic ones up there too without the promoted listings.
Right.
Since they made that thing where you can only do, you can't get promoted listings and organic. It's like only can be promoted listing or organic. So when I do it organic, on like an older item, I would say like a vintage, say sweater, I get a lot of views from that compared to if I was to do a promoted listing on that, which is so strange. It should be the opposite. But I tinker with stuff like that, little things like that. I'm like my mind's like an engineer. So like if something works one week and I feel like it's not working the second week, I'll go back and change it. I run 2-day sales, 30% off, but I already have everything boosted 30% off. So when I'm turning the 2-day sales, it's at the price anyways. And then I'm taking my best offer since I price higher. I'm taking the best offer right exactly where I want to sell it at.
Exactly.
Now, do you guys do 2-day sales, 3-day sales?
Yeah, I have.
My sale.
Go ahead. Go to
My sales are typically just shy of 48 hours.
Yeah. And do you keep them running concurrent, or do you let them run out, wait a day like the Gilmans, and then do the sale again?
I usually wait an hour and pop them back on.
Yeah, I do the same.
Okay. I know last year I was having issues where if I went too long and I forgot that the sale was running out, I would put everything back on, and then it wouldn't show up for like 15, 16, 17, 18 hours the next day. And sometimes if I did it, cancel, delete it, and did it again, it would be like 60% off instead of 30. So it was kind of doubling up on the 30% off.
Dang.
So that's, I think, the main reason why I just kept running it concurrent. I'll do 1 week, I'll switch up and go every 2 days, or I'll go 1 day and then extend it 1 day. Go 1 day, extend it 1 day. And sometimes that works. Or sometimes I'm just thinking too much about it. But I guess that's my thinking. I do things differently. Because I think you got to be ahead of the game. If you're not ahead of the game, you're gonna fall behind. And especially with reselling, it happens so quickly with everything they change on eBay and Poshmark and Mercari. Especially Poshmark, I think they just raised the shipping costs in the United States. I don't know if it's the same over there, Jody, as you, but I keep hearing a lot of bad feedback saying like it was already high shipping. Now the price is even higher. Where now you're looking at after the fees and everything compared to eBay. This is why I love eBay. You get 20% fees on Poshmark. You get 10% fees on eBay. And I have no problem bumping 3, 4, 5% on the promoted listings because I'm still making 5% more. You know what I mean? And then also Poshmark's not holding my money.
Yeah, but then you got to keep in consideration the PayPal fee and the the store cost.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
So it's about the same.
Yeah. That's true because Poshmark doesn't give you, they don't charge you for a store. You just keep resharing them and resharing them. Do you find that that's a little hard, time consuming doing the resharing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know some people, they buy shares. So they'll go on and I don't know, Fiverr, stuff like that. They'll have people go on and share and buy shares. So they share them so many times a day. And it seems to work in some people. But I'm like, I think it's a lot of money for them doing that.
Yeah, that works. Virtual assistants.
Yeah. Yeah. VAs back in the day was just brand new when we started. And I heard they messed up a lot back then. And now they're pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
All right. What made you guys start reselling? Like, what would be your story when you restarted? What made you think about restarting?
I guess the reason I started is because I told myself before I turned 30, I didn't want to work for anybody else. Because I've had 55 jobs. I worked for 55 other people before I was 29 years old.
Damn.
And when I was 29, I worked for myself. Like I was an Uber driver and all these kinds of things. Uber Eats and all that. And then I had my websites going at that point, but I needed more money, so I started reselling as well.
What brought you to reselling?
I'm pretty sure it was Rally Roots, but I don't know how I started watching them. I can't remember.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's what it was. YouTube.
I think YouTube's big on people that, just start. A lot of people just write how to make money on eBay. They'll type that in, and that's like a huge search term.
Yeah.
And those videos pop up. For me, it was Steve Rakin. Rakin and Kill Mom Gill Daddy, they got me going. I first started watching videos and asking questions of them, and then what about you, Cliff? Same thing?
Yeah, I've pretty well been laid off from my full-time job since November before last. So going on, just shy of a year and a half now since I was sent home. And last
So they let you
February,
go? Why
they didn't officially fire me until this last November. But I had
What were you
85
doing?
hours of work in a year. I drove truck.
Hmm.
I have a commercial driver's license. But
And was the market just not big up there for it?
yeah, well, in my area, if you're going to be driving truck, you're pretty well going to be hauling concrete or gravel or garbage or driving a plow truck. And I was one of the gravel haulers. That's pretty well the only industry in this area. I could probably move to a city and get a job with a mega carrier, but this is home and I don't really want to move. Besides, I just took ownership of this house 2 years ago, so.
Nice.
Yeah. So how did you find reselling?
It was just a video, like, a year ago, I had a fire in my house, and I saved it, but it cost me second and third degree burns on my left foot.
Oh,
So I was laid up for 2 months. And during that time, a reselling video came across my recommended feed, and I watched it. I think it was Lonnie. And I looked around and I looked at the stuff I had because I had a lot of stuff. And I thought, you know what, I could take a picture of that and throw it in a box and sell it to somebody. So I started doing that. It was something I could do that I was off my feet. And when I got healed, that's when I started sourcing. And I just stuck with it. Because up here when you're driving truck, you're looking at a 14-hour work day, a 70-hour work week, and there's so many regulations. And our trucks aren't maxed at 80,000 pounds like yours are. Like we use triaxle trailers up here, and that puts our gross weight up to about 105,000 pounds. And they want, like, the bosses want you to be damn near right at the max mark, which kind of puts you in the crosshairs of DOT. And like I'm thinking now, instead of putting my license at risk for somebody else, I could just drive for myself. Like I've been looking at storage units lately. I've bought one last year, and I want to buy more. And if it needs be, I could rent a damn truck as big as I want now. I don't have to worry about it.
That's true.
what about you, Chris? What made you start? I don't know if we answered that question or anything. Was there a specific video or?
Yeah. So when I tried to search things like how to make money online and stuff, the first thing I saw was a Gary Vee video of him on the Breakfast Club, just talking about flipping things for like literally dollars and making a big profit off of it, or even just a little bit of more money. And then after that, I started watching his other videos like Trash Talk, him going to garage sales, and then buying things for cheap and making money off that. And then after that, I started trying to learn more. And for some reason, the next video I started or trying to learn more was a guy named Riz, the entrepreneur. And then I started learning actually clothing from him. And then after that, I tried trying to find other like YouTubers just reselling that do that mainly. So I tried to find people in Canada that do it. There was Chris from Chris's Treasure Chest. That was one of the main guys that I started watching. He does a lot of unique items. And then after that, I was like hooked. I was like, I wanted to just start doing this right now.
Yeah, motivation, it is right there again.
Yeah.
I find that when you are at a certain point in your life and you're looking, really reaching out and looking for something to find, this was there. You know what I mean? Reselling's there, and that's why time and time again, like whenever I talk to other eBayers or resellers, it's the same thing. There was a certain moment or a certain time that brought them here, whether it was a YouTube video or a TV show.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about this community, that everybody we all were on the same page. Because like if we went out and talked to our friends, they'd be like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know. Who cares about eBay? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But with us, it's like, oh my God, I just sold this certain item. And you're like, wow, that's awesome. And then I like also is the challenges that we do here. We challenge each other to do better and to sell more. We used to do it back in the day. We used to do a challenge. Like a lot of us, me, the Gilmans, I think it was Goldfinger Picker, and a bunch of other ones. Even though I always had the smaller, store out of all of them, because the Gilmans had like 13,000 items on eBay. Even Ronnie Hart was up there. They all motivate each other every single day, every single week. We'd be all in private chats, working chats, to sell as much as we could, and hold each other accountable. Like, hey, step it up. I think that's good about here. I don't know if there's anybody out too. I think that'd be pretty cool. Doing some sort of challenge, whoever can sell the most items. It doesn't have to be whoever makes the most money, profit, but the most items is pretty fun. Even if you're a small seller, you'll see your numbers climb. And that's what happened with us. Our numbers were climbing every month we were doing it, because others telling us like, hey, this is what I've sold. Well, you need to catch up. So, I mean, that's a little bit of what we did back then. And I say to people now that it's pretty cool challenges they do, like $50. They'll do like garage sale challenge, stuff like that. And it's so cool out there now. It'd be pretty cool if everyone can do like one sort of challenge and see how our growth would be for that month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
But then, yeah. So last thing, everybody tell us on each of your channel where they can find you guys.
You mean like
I'll go Jody first.
Do you mean like other social media?
Like your YouTube channel, eBay, or you don't do eBay, but YouTube channel, and if you want to give out your Poshmark or eBay store.
Yeah. I guess I can give my Poshmark. I'll just put it in the chat. It's Posher Club.
Yeah.
And then my Canadian one too.
And does everybody else have, I can put all of our YouTube channels in the chat? That'll be perfect too.
Yeah. Jennifer and Chris have been sharing our channels, so thank you to them.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So where can we find you, Jody?
On Poshmark US, it's Posher Club, and on Poshmark Canada, it's Posher Club North.
And you're also on Instagram too. All three of you guys are on Instagram, so shout out your Instagrams too.
Posher Club also on Instagram. I'm just
Boondock Mercantile on Instagram. And
And
Boondock
YouTube channel,
Mercantile and my eBay store name is Boondock Mercantile as well, all one word.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram as well as ThriftBCQ. I have several, like I have more than one eBay store, just because I've been doing certain items on consignment. So I have mainly two stores that I've been focusing on. One in the U.S. and then one in Canada, and then I have the middle one for just my consignment stuff. But let me get that one. I think.
Yeah.
So the store that I like, my main store is CSQ_digital_media. That's the main one. And then, yeah, I actually just got a sale, so sweet.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats, man.
I just sold this. It's a John Morant rookie card.
How much?
$28.
Oh, nice. There you go. How much did you pay for it?
Nice one.
So I paid $30 for the box. So 2 of the cards like that I picked up from that box is gonna make me at least double that, more than double that. So I already have like a whole bunch of watchers on the other card, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna go soon.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Maury.
then what do you do free shipping on that, or do you charge?
I always charge on shipping. I don't do any free shipping at all.
Same here.
Yeah. I just
I find that it helps my bottom line since coming back. My bottom line's been a lot better. Before I left, it was $37 a sale. Now I've got up to 62 a sale.
yeah.
And I think a big part of it's adding the shipping because I sell mostly clothing items and other stuff. But the shipping is like, and I feel like, it sells, my sales are more than I sold before. I just think it's literally the consistency in running those sales. Before I never ran those 2-day sales. I never did any of that stuff until I was literally at my old apartment complex. And this one guy's like, "You do eBay?" Because he saw us literally out back of our apartment complex doing, taking pictures of my girlfriend in the clothes. And he's like, "You do eBay?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, and we started talking about eBay. And that's what I mean. Like you can hang out and talk to people about eBay that get it, and they'll talk technical with you. But when it's people like that don't know, they just roll their eyes and like, whatever. We're kind of sick of hearing you talk about it. But he said to me, he said, "Try doing this." Because I said, "Man, I'm having a tough time coming back with not having sales." He said, "Run 2-day sales, and then relist the 2-day sales, and then use promoted listings. You don't have to do much. You can do 1% all the way across the board and see what happens." You know, we're live. The first week, my sales were up 45%.
Whoa.
And so,
Nice.
I never went back. And the time I did take it away, about 3 months ago, I was like, let's see what happens if I take off all promoted listings. Because I didn't notice, but on the marketing section, you see organic and then you see promoted. And my promotes were getting double more than my organic after I tried it. When I realized it, I think I was like 2 days into the week I was supposed to do, and I'm like, I wasn't getting really any sales. I'm like, nope, I got to go back to promoted. Because the promoted helps me out so much being searched higher.
Yeah.
But
That's wild.
all right, guys, I'm going to end this. Thank you guys for coming on, and stick around for a few minutes after so I can talk to you guys. Thank you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.